Football is in crisis. All industries are in crisis, you say. Yeah, but so is football. Football is wealthy, you say, but it isn't. Most football clubs are a modest-sized business and struggle with their finances at the best of times. A famous manager once said, "Football without fans is nothing." He was right. Without matchday revenue and with no TV revenue, football clubs having to play matches behind closed doors with no fans won't be able to operate. Some may be able to hibernate for the season. Others will simply go out of business. Football will be decimated. It's these football clubs, the majority of football clubs, that desperately, urgently need financial support. A football ground is like an outdoor theatre, and like a theatre, it has to have an audience to survive. Like the arts, football needs an urgent financial helping hand. But how? Well, there is an answer, and it's been around for 150 years. It's the FA Cup. Let us explain. When a men's or women's team win a match in the FA Cup, they get prize money. In the very early rounds, even some of the smaller losing teams get money too. But the way the FA Cup prize money is currently structured means that it's the biggest teams that ironically always get the biggest amount of money because, well, they win more matches, and they're the ones who always end up winning the FA Cup. Fair enough, you might say. The best teams get the most prize money. But of course, that way, the big teams get bigger and all the other teams fall further behind. So we're thinking right now, as football faces its biggest crisis ever, perhaps this is the time to rethink the FA Cup. What if the FA Cup could be the perfect illustration of the FA's for all strategy, representing the interests of every level of football equally? What if the FA Cup helped to level up the playing field for lower league men's clubs and for women's football too? Well, it can. Here's how it would work. Think of the FA Cup like a cake, a cupcake. Last season, 1,036 men's and women's teams entered their respective FA Cups, and of the total £30.6 million prize fund available, Premier League teams took home 67%, the other 716 men's clubs shared 32%, and that left less than 1% for women's clubs. But who needs it most at this time of crisis? What if this FA cupcake really was shared amongst the whole football family to help them through? What if 96% of all those clubs entering the FA Cups could be better off financially thanks to this new for all cup approach? First things first, the FA are set to make big losses this year due to COVID-19, so decided to cut £14 million off the existing prize fund. Disaster. So, step one, let's put that back. Who's going to put that back in? We'll come back to that later. Step two, let's take all the prize money from the quarter-final, semi-final and final of the men's FA Cup, just the last 3 rounds, and see if there's a better use for it. Let's reallocate that prize money to men's lower league clubs, non-league clubs and women's clubs. Do you remember? The clubs who are really struggling at the moment and facing going out of business. Do you know how much currently gets spent on just those last 3 rounds? Guess what? It's also about £14 million. Did you know that for the last 5 years of the men's FA Cup, all of that £14 million has gone to Premier League clubs? That's not their fault, of course. They are the best clubs in the country, but that's how FA Cup prize money works at the moment. So really, it's Premier League teams we're asking to forego this £14 million to help out the rest of the football family. And that other £14 million that needs to be put back in, well, this feels like a very modest ask of the government to match the Premier League's contribution and to make possible not only the saving of countless football clubs at the heart of their communities, but to also help relaunch the FA Cup as the For All Cup. So what do you say, FA, Premier League, government? Can we do this and do it fast? Because if the football family All those clubs outside the elite of the men's game do not receive financial support, and soon many will be forced to close for good. Communities all round the country will lose their beloved football club, and all for a fair share of the cake.